Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake, Chats 2017. Well, I'm coming to you a little bit different than I used to be. That will continue, but there have been some changes. And I know that, you know, I think that I go to channelers hoping that they're the same and maybe a little bit more clever every time. So for you to come to me and say, yeah, well, there's been another change, to hear that, I don't know how safe it makes you feel. Makes me feel super safe because I know what needs to improve, and I know now far better than I did even 24 hours ago what my role is and what my path is and what the what it's about. So I'd like to explain a little bit. First, I want to explain that I made two, you know, really big mistakes in my last video, innocently enough, because I lost a week. I've lost hours and I've lost days, but I've never lost a week. Sure enough, there was a week that I didn't factor in prior to going to APO, so rather than having only 8 days to prepare, it wound up I had 15. I was bummed because I was looking forward to the event, but also I liked that the 8 was glittering around that burn. But it turns out that the actual burn is happening on June 8th. And it's the weekend of the full moon. So could the timing be better? No, couldn't be better. So all is well. And I get an extra weekend to prepare. So that's pretty neat. But I made mistakes. And I really wanted to immediately come and say, oh, I made a mistake. And I stopped for the first time and thought, you know, yeah, I have an obligation to be accurate and correct in my emissions. But at this point, if I make a mistake, oh well. It wasn't done maliciously. It wasn't done because it's not legit. I just, I had a time blip. So I kept thinking, well, you know, next time I come, I'll explain it, and that'll be that. So, there you go. But yeah, it's really exciting and I'm really happy. I want to explain really quick, you know, what Apogea is. It's the Colorado Burning Man. There's the big, huge Burning Man. The big, huge one. But then a lot of states have their own regional ones. And we have one in Colorado. We have a big community. It's only, the one that's bigger is California. So there's a lot of us around, and it's a spiritual event, and it doesn't have to be. It's whatever you want it to be, but it's home. It's home, baby. It's home. So that's Apple. All right. So I want to tell you. I want to mark what happened yesterday. It's important, and I want to explain. This is a time of ascension, and what that means is that the operating system within the individual's body, the consciousness, alters, changes, and the way in which problems are solved and viewed, and things that are available change as a result of changes that are energetic and agreed upon. Put into the weave at birth, or actually well before birth. This is a very large time to be alive. And it's only the beginning, of course. And my job is that of system buster, because I don't identify with the old system, I identify with the new system. But I have enough knowledge and compassion for the people in the old system and the old system itself that I bridge. I bust and I bridge and I build. And there are many different systems to apply this kind of energy to. The psychiatric community, it's funny how these things just come up in my life. And my Sam has the same sort of signature, it seems. So when you're from the future, there are bound to be clashes now and then. Basically. a woman out of time. But I like that. I like that yesterday, really, the message was again and again, you know, it's, your project's complete. It is done. Mission accomplished. Now the rest is just enjoying it. And I've had that information before, but I've then gotten sucked into problems and considered them to be defining of my progress and proof that I didn't understand. And that's not the case anymore. I understand I'm going to probably face these kind of issues probably as long as I live, simply because I have a different perspective than a lot of people. But it's never my intention to harm. It's my intention to move the ball forward so that we're being more civil and appropriate and loving toward each other. That's sort of the idea. It's not that difficult of a mission, but trying to convince the old guard that a new way is possible and actually viable, that's the hard part. So it's the time of miracles, it's the time of tectonic plate shifts, and it's the time of profound self-love. Yesterday, I really thought that that was going to be it, just this message of, yeah, it's done, it's complete. Now you just get to kick back and relax. Just enjoy the surrender, enjoy the ease, enjoy the love, enjoy. Just enjoy. Relax. And there was no light show, there were no visitations from angels. But then last night I had an opportunity to sit in front of the camera. I did a 45-minute tape on just reviewing the events, the weird events, and just a few weird events from each of my May 25ths since 2012. And as I was doing it, I realized, yeah, this is the real deal. I mean, I'm talking about visions, and I'm talking about visitations and otherworldly knowledge and stuff I really shouldn't by rights have access to, and miracles that are just beyond explanation in my life. Synchronicities that are mind-blowing. Then I thought to myself, well, it's all been documented. Imagine that. So then I did a tape, and I thought, okay, well, I don't know why, but I decided I was going to just, I don't do it often, decloak, enlist the things that I have done to change matter with my energy. The miracles I've created that are visible and shared. The shamanistic communication I have with everything around me, with the elements, with the energy, and what I have created as a master of energy. And about 15 minutes into it, I'm running a lot of energy, and the numbers at the top of my screen go blank, and I think, wow, I'm running so much energy that I made that happen? Wow. And then there's this caution box that comes up. It says, we've suspended the recording and you need to dump. You don't have enough memory to continue. Well, the porch was, the window was closed, but you know, the light was such, I looked and there was a storm brewing, and I could hear some lightning and thunder. No, thunder, I couldn't hear the lightning. As this is all going on, and I go to the folder area, and I see I have almost 1,100 videos. And that's not the total amount of videos. I would say it's probably closer to 1,400 that I produced. Probably more. But I've had to, along the way, dump some just to make room and continue recording. I looked at that, and I was going to just randomly delete this and that and just make some room, right? Just keep going, keep going, keep going. And I thought about it. It's May 25th, 2017. It's been 5 years since my conversion. It's been 5 years since my ascension. This was a project to capture the physical ascension. I did it. I don't need to keep this. I hit select all and I hit delete. Then I went to the recycle icon, called it all up, hit select all. It asked if I was sure. Do you understand? This is permanently deleted now? I said, yeah, it's cool with me. Bing! And as I hit yes, there was this huge thunderclap, and I thought, oh, that's kind of neat. And it kept going. This thunder was not just a bang, and it kept going. And I thought, oh, well, there must be like a jet that's also part of this that I didn't appreciate when I heard the thunderclap, because this is going on so long. So I decided to get up and go to the window. As always happens when I look at the sun with intention, I saw the sun, and then it expanded. It got far brighter and bigger. And I said, hello, I'm where I'm supposed to be, huh? And I wanted to go outside, but it was cold and rainy. I wanted to see eye to eye instead of with glass in between. I went to my bedroom with that intention. I opened up the door, but oh, it's so cold. So I closed the window, at the door, and I decided, you know, it'll be fine. Having some glass between us is not the end of the world. Here I am. I'd rather be warm. The sun had kind of oozed and become far bigger. It was getting to be sunset. And there were clouds sort of lining. And the clouds began to change color. The bottoms of the clouds started to turn this very unusual teal color. All of them. Boom, 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 boom. I gripped my cane handle, and they said, we are here. Yes, this is us. We are with you, and we are with you. Now watch. This is a healing. The light and the color is important to the healing. And the color began to morph. The clouds turned a different color blue. More of a, like an, I don't know, it was like more blue than teal, but not the color of the surrounding clouds, because what I saw was there was like this opening, and that's where all the action was happening, and there was the sun and the clouds. And in that stage, there were greens, there were blues, teals, azure, so many colors. It went on and on. They said, yes, it's done. It's complete. You've done it. And you've communicated it. And there was much rejoicing. And they said, in order for the work to happen, I was given a dispensation that made my memory require me to repeat and to keep going through things and keep being thorough and keep. And they said, it's your anniversary after all. Of course, we knew that you wanted a light show, but we think it's time for healing. So, they know me better than I know me. And I trust that I am loved very well. And so the gifts that are here and on their way, I know are just for me, and they're acts of love. It's got nothing to do with deserving, but I do deserve it, because I did something that I agreed to do, which was to go through this and then explain it for you. So, now it's not so much about you. Now it's about my loved ones. When I started this process, I didn't have anyone in my life who gave a damn. I wrote about it. A special graduation. I was going to go on the first date in, I don't know, 12 years. And there was nobody in my life who I could tell of my great disappointment or my great joy later on that night. I was isolated. I'm not isolated now. And it took a lot of work, and it took a lot of laughter. It took a lot of risk-taking. It took getting naked. It took doing things that I would normally not have done, but I knew that what had come before was no longer even available to me. And so I let my heart show me the way home. And I'm home now. I'm home now. I'm finally home. So for me, this really is about ascension and descension, meaning that to make this meaningful for the ones who I love and the ones I encounter in physical form is what's important now. I have done this for humanity. I've done it for strangers and for myself. Now that that is complete, I can do other things. So that was my May 25th. And today I got my first assignment. I've pretty much been working all day on it. And it's not a solo thing. Nor will it ever be again. I did my time in the desert. I did my time in my cave. I did my time in my circus tent. I did my time in the zoo. I did hard time in my prison. And I'm free. I'm at your service. But according to my preferences, strengths, and willingnesses now. So I don't know when I'll come back. It's changing significantly. Meaning and purpose and expression, and that's great. I'm glad. It's fine. What will be will be. I'm held in the cupped hands of my Creator. I am loved beyond measure. And I am a walking manifestation of love itself. And I leave you this day beaming this love to you, hoping you feel it. Selah.